So, gamers. I'm talking about the TV anime series, of course. Just finished airing, and for those of you who haven't watched it as it airs, you might be wondering if you should start. From first look, it's a colorful slice of life romantic comedy genre type of series. It's visually appealing, has a relatable premise of video games for gamers to empathize with, and it's just simply fun to watch. The general synopsis is by a small group of high school students who have one thing in common, which is video games. They are all gamers who through games came to know each other. After repeated encounters with each other, some of them became friends, some wanted to become friends, some were already in a relationship, and sometimes there's just an enormous mess of misunderstanding caused by blurred relationships. The misunderstandings of who likes who or who is dating who really does get hilariously ridiculous to the point that the show isn't even about games most of the time anymore, which is ironic. Lots of subconscious thoughts of accusations, implied relationships, and cheating that could have been simply resolved by just sitting down and talking. But I'm just gonna put this out there, they never do that. Countless times they considered it or planned it out, but they never end up doing it and back out at the last moment. The Love Pentagon, and yes, it is a pentagon, as in 5 people for some reason, which is just completely insane. They shouldn't have done that. Mostly centers around Keita Amano, who Kara Nintendo eventually heavily falls for him just for being the typical main protagonist type of character you see in any Japanese game or anime. But in all seriousness, she does fall for him with a genuinely good reason, which I admire about the series. Nothing happens without a reason, because they are literally doing calculations in their heads of the interrelationships in their group. One of them even does it on paper at one point. I mean, this is just how crazy these people are. They do a really good job of teasing you to keep watching the next episodes because someone would always have doubts or suspicions that someone is going out with someone else. Or maybe they mistakenly heard that someone confessed to someone. But the overall tone of the series is just cute slice of life school romance with games as a general undertone for the premise in order to connect all the characters. As far as gaming in the series, they do expand on video games as a hobby and even cameo a good number of real titles as well as some fake titles. Just to name a few, there's Legion of the Fantasy referencing Isu 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, Golden no Hitomi referencing GoldenEye 007, or sometimes they may show gameplay that looks like Super Smash Bros., Call Over Strike Destruction Warfare referencing Counter-Strike, and something that looks like Players Unknown Battlegrounds. Along with some of the real titles they somehow got the copyrights for being Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and Persona 4. I thought the additions of these game cameos were very well implemented and made the show more relatable to gamers. Though at first, I thought the anime was centered mainly on the Gamebu. Small Japanese lesson here, bu means club or department, or pretty much the game club. But it really didn't play any significant role other than as a reason for Tendo to fall for Amano. A good majority of the series isn't even about games at one point and mostly serves as the medium and setting for all the events to occur, which may or may not be a bad thing depending on what you find more entertaining. The group dynamic is also relatable and interesting on both sides. There is one part of the group who are clueless when it comes to relationships, and as a result find themselves in socially awkward situations. And there's the other part of the group who are more knowledgeable and experienced with people in dating, but still find themselves in awkward situations as well. The completely clueless faction of the group consists of Tendo, Amano, and Hoshinomori, who are just so innocent, pure, and somewhat naive. The other part of the group will be the couple Tasuku and Aguri, who are a little less than so, but are still very much innocent students as well. Perhaps slightly a bit more shallow, but good students and friends nonetheless. This anime series differs from other slice of life in that the characters do not do anything too cliche and for the most part won't do anything too superficial. There are many events in which the characters would act socially awkward due to inexperience or just unforeseen circumstances, which I thought was part of the charm of the series, showing that the characters are not perfect or are not just generic characters casually made up for a romantic comedy story. In fact, all the main characters in this story are very much imperfect and each have serious social issues they are struggling with. Something that perhaps the viewers who might be gamers themselves may possibly share in that sentiment. To sum it up, even though the series isn't entirely centered on games, it isn't those type of series that completely disregards what it advertises as. Games are still a centered part of the series, otherwise the characters wouldn't be who they are. It's filled with a ton of convoluted debacle of drama in the extremes, which makes it that much entertaining with very fun and likable characters. The pairings of the couples are also very acceptable, at least in my opinion. Overall, this series is a very pleasant and refreshing story about gamers and how they have to deal with the non-stop chaos that is their romantic lives. This concludes my take on anime gamers. Hope this helped you in deciding whether or not you would like to start on this anime series. If you've already watched it, feel free to tell me what you thought of it and whether you would recommend it to other people as well. If you're looking for a series that's completely about games rather than romance, then you might be slightly disappointed. Perhaps you may want to try a series like Log Horizon, Overlord, No Game No Life, or Konosubarashi Sekai ni Shukufuku, or Konosuba for short, and the obvious one I won't say because chances are you probably know it already. If you want something similar to gamers, then maybe Himoto Umaru-chan would be more suitable for you. The second season just started too, so this might be a good time to pick it up. And so I'll end it here for this impression review type of video of the recently finished anime series Gamers. If you would like me to make more of these kind of videos, please say so in the comments. And if you're new here, maybe please consider subscribing. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.